So let's get down to rear guard removal. It's very simple, but I'll just go over a few bits and pieces first before we go much further. I was talking about the sensors that come out of the rear bar. Typical Land Rover, look at this monstrosity of a setup. That's what holds those sensors into the bar. It's got to be the most ridiculous setup I've ever seen. This stupid little plastic clip. Anyway, you'll work that out. The other thing I want to talk to you about is people ask me, how do you get the guards off? Because they've got these plastic guards. They go on here like this. Very simple. They're just stuck on. That's all they are. So you just get a screwdriver in them and lever them off. Nothing difficult about it. When you go to put them back on, you just use your double-sided tape or just silicone or something and it'll hold them back on there. See? Double-sided tape sort of setup. Easy to do. Right. Now to get the guard off, and I take the guards off of these because there's not a lot of them around, they're hard to get. I keep these and I sell them. So there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 screws. So they're Phillips head screws, so undo those. And your tail light should already be gone. It's 4 screws hold open, you can see that. Now, down around the mud flap here, there'll be some, if you get under and have a look, there's a couple of screws hold them in there. So one goes there sort of thing, you'll find them. Take all the plastics and everything off, it's an easy way. Now up the front here, so you've got 2 bolts in the top here, underneath that plastic panel. Now in the inside here, you can see in that cutout there, you see there's a bolt in there. Need to get that one. And then down here, I don't know if you can see if the guard's out a little bit, I'll be able to see, there's a hole here. There's another one comes in from the back. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 on the front. Now, you come around, you've got on them, there's more. And remember I said to you about the thing that sits up in there like that, the breather for your diff. Now, so you've got on the inside, you've got a screw there, one there, another one hiding in there, and beyond that, another one there. But wait, there's more. It's one there, it's one there, one there. And you think you've got them all. But wait, there's more. Up under here, you've got more of the buggers. You see it there? And you'll get them. Undo all them. I think there's another 4 or 5 up in there. Righto, and that's all the bolts taken care of. Now, this is where you're going to need WD-40. Now up the top here, you've got, it's double glued, so you've got your seam seal that runs along here, you've got a bead seam seal, and that's all painted with the vehicle. So you've got to cut that first, and that's only about 1/4 of an inch or maybe a 3/8 at the best deep. So you get a nice new blade, spray some WD on it, on the blade and on the thing. You can see the seam seal there and see where I've cut. And you cut that out, that's easy. And you use one of these. Okay, that crappy blade, and put a brand new blade in there to do this. And a long blade. Because when you do your second cut up the top here, which we're not going to do yet, but you're going to need about 2 inches or 50 mil of blade to get to it. So here, you sprayed all this with WD-40, it's probably been soaking for 20 minutes, is a good idea. And then you can start down the bottom here with a screwdriver and lever it out, and you'll feel it pop. This one here, sometimes you've got to run a blade through it to cut the glue. Other times you can just lever it off. Do both ways, you'll work it out, you'll get it. It'll fight you, but you will get it. Once you've done that, you'll have that a bit loose and you'll be able to wriggle it around a little bit. So your next step here is to come back inside here, and with your scraper and your Stanley, and if you've WD-40'd it, you'll run your Stanley and your scraper down through there and you'll pop that seal. Do the same in the back here. You'll pop that seal, lever it away. Doesn't matter if you bend this, because you can knock it back into shape anyway. And look, you're not going to use it, so it won't matter. But you'll get the guard off without destroying it. WD as much as you can on the inside. And WD this again. You've already done it once, twice. Do it again. Get your Stanley knife. Start at the back and work your way down. You'll have to have maybe half a dozen goes and just keep cutting down deeper and deeper. Keep using WD-40 on the blade and you'll get this guard off. And I'm going to take it off. I'm going to show you exactly all the glue. So give me a second. Righto, so I've got the guard off again. Now you can see all the glue that we cut through. Down along that seam, down here, there's that hole for that one bolt from the inside of the wheel well. There's the other one there that I showed you, two from the outside. And you can see up in here, you can see where I've cut through all of that, and you slowly get it. These things will fight you, but you will get them. They're not that difficult. So here we go again. We're ready to cut. So when we mark these out, I measured down the bottom here where I want to cut, and I put some yellow tape down. I'll cut down the side of the yellow tape. I've cleaned all of this tar off of the join here where I'm going to cut. You don't want to be welding and cutting with that stuff, affecting your MIG welder. All panel beaters and fabricators will know what I'm talking about. Engine body mounts. The body mount here, there's one down the back, and down there another one there, so there's four for you can get to from the top. I've got this all strapped off ready to lift. This is the exhaust guard from underneath. It's 4 10mm bolts. Nuts hold that in place. I take that off because I don't want to cut it. I want to put that back in. It goes back to keeping all the Land Rover stuff in the Land Rover. Up on the roof here, I mark it out with yellow tape again, and I just cut down the side of that yellow tape. You'll notice that's a fair way back to where I'm actually going to finish. I'm going to finish about here, but I'm giving myself plenty of room to operate there. So I'm going to actually end up moving this rib here forward a little bit, and anyway, we'll get to that as we go. So we're all ready to cut and lift. I use a 9-inch grinder. You could use a reciprocating core saw or whatever you want to use. I prefer to use a 9-inch grinder with an ultra thin blade, which is here. I use these ultra fast, 230mm, and they're 1.9mm thick, so they're a very slim cut with a 9-inch grinder. And then I'll use 125mm ultra slim to do the rest of it. So what I do is I cut generally the top one here first, down there, and then I work down here and I cut that through that. And that 9-inch grinder will cut that whole thing there. So you want to cut it nice and straight. And I find with the reciprocating saws, they tend to run off course a bit, and you really got to watch what you're doing. So when I cut both sides, and I do that for a reason, so we don't have the thing caving in on top of the blade, breaking a blade, people get hurt. 9-inch grinders are dangerous, and they're for use for professionals. They're actually banned on a lot of job sites in Australia. There have been so many accidents with them. You've got to be very careful when you use them. You wear all your safety gear. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the 9-inch cuts, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, as you can see, I've made the 9-inch cuts. You can see clearly through there it's taken that whole beam out all the way through. Same up here. You can see straight through there. Okay. So both those beams on both sides have been cut. So what we do now is I'll cut with the 125mm or 5-inch grinder with the ultra slim blade, and I'll leave a little bit here uncut, and I'll leave them, so 4 bits, and then I'll wedge in here with a cold chisel or a chisel or something, and both down there and up here. And then the last little bit is just to trim that little bit out, trim a little bit out in here, and away we go, and we can lift the body off. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that now, and we'll come back to you with lifting the body off. Okay, so here we are. We've cut right through now, and just emphasise that the only accurate ones you need to make is these cuts here at the moment. The rest of it's irrelevant. You can tidy that up and make it nice and straight later. Now I just wedge it with a little stubby nose screwdriver. I'm going to do the same up the top here, and you'll see that I've left a little bit there to cut. So I'll wedge that with a screwdriver, and then I'll just politely cut that out on both sides. So after I've done that, I'll come back to you with the engine lifter hooked up, ready to lift it. So here we go, we're all hooked up, ready to lift it. I've cut the thing completely, it's loose on there now. Got a little bit of weight on it. So I'm just going to hand the camera to my partner, and she's going to video this as I lift it off. It'll probably be a bit unbalanced, I don't know how this is going to lift. Usually like some way through it. There you go. It's lifting off pretty good. This whole engine lifter, it's lifted a lot of bodies off, and as you can see down here, just video down in there. As you can see, we haven't cut anything, and we've cut the floor. It's lifting up. Now we just need to lift it up clear of the here on the fuel filler down here. Make sure we don't wreck that. So I'm going to lift it a little bit higher. And I'm surprised it's actually lifted pretty flat, and I'm caught on something there, so let's have a look. Ah, that's what I missed. There's a bracket there. I'll just cut that bracket. Always forget something. Oh no. So let's just cut that off. There we go. We'll just lift her up. I'll trust the engine lifter. Just have a check. Make sure I haven't got anything else as I go. Don't pick up. Yeah, it's just sitting there by itself. Okay, so let's just cut that off. Okay, Very good like that. And it's off. Very much. So I'll just lift it up. Up, out of the way. We've got an earth wire. We'll just take him off of there for the minute. And we know that we're going to put that back on when we do the tray. So the body's off pretty much, and there you go. That's how we do it. So I'll get rid of this, and then we'll have a bit of a clean up. Get rid of all the grinding that we've left on the floor, and we'll start taking these body mounts off here, off the chassis. We'll cut them off and move them forward. We'll reinstate a mount in here, weld that in, box that in, and then we'll start making the rear panels. This has all been cut a long way up. Give myself plenty of room, I can trim that back later as I go. I've done this with 3 cut-off wheels, 1 9-inch wheel which I'm going to reuse again, and 2 of these small 5-inch things here. But when you cut across here, just be careful, you have got some stuff down in there that you don't want to cut through. There's a brake line over on that side. You just want to make sure you don't damage any of that stuff underneath there. Righto, we're done.
I didn't cover up this.